What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Isaac Leffler. Thank you for joining us. Today we'll be doing part 2 of Faces by Mac Miller. Now this first part of Mac Miller I enjoyed thoroughly. This Faces album was something I really wasn't expecting. I thought I had listened to the best that Mac Miller had to offer, but he's thoroughly surprised me so far through this album with just what he was capable of. So I'm ready to get right back into it. We're starting on track 14, Ave Maria. So we're going to get right into it. Let's start track 14, Ave Maria. Here we go.
Yeah. And I can't feel my legs, I'm a paraplegic. Lord, I want to fare one with my demons. Karen Myers pieces, I'm a diagnosed insomniac. An astronaut who blasting off into the star galactic. On top of Saturn, Fox trying with velociraptors. The dynaped for the rapture. Claws a hillbilly through the spinners on the tractor. I listen to Uncle Cracker, but that's white America for you, we all that matters. I'm walking backwards, shadow boxing with karate mask. A bad apple like an unemployed Macintosh. We lost jobs. Now they brainwashed with .com. Just only so long until we surrender the free world to Hong Kong. And sinners, it all just keeps spinning. Gotta keep swimming.
Keep swimming.
Yeah.
Keep swimming.
Eat, drink, and silver dollar. Larry Fish here for Midget League beginner slaughter. I'm not drowning, I'm waiting in the water. Killing off these monsters ever since I was a Sabra. I got horses on my PJs. He's on tour like PGA. Davis loved the Thundersburg Warrior. Bullets in my cornea. In Excelsior Deo, Ayo. This is Gloria. Ave Maria. I'm getting bread. East rise on Easter. Money. Sinners stay still, but the merry go round and round.
Liking it so
just
far.
keep spinning. Gotta keep swimming. Yeah.
Oh, like a beat switch.
What? Have you found a way out? Have you found a way out? Yeah. A vacation in Slovakia, celebrating. Have you found a way out?
All right, Ave Maria, that was a strong track. I don't know why I was expecting it to be kind of like the actual Ave Maria track. I was thinking of like the Batman movie that recently came out with the Riddler and it being all ominous. That's not what it was like at all. There was a guitar in the background that was real cool. There was an organ going on at one point, which was really nice. Again, I said in the first part of this review, I really enjoy that he uses actual instruments in his songs. There was a cool kind of like build up in the beginning. There's a couple lines that I just thought were interesting, like the Apple Macintosh line, the PGA Tour line. There was a cool beat switch at the end. And I don't know if I'm reading into it, but was there a hint at Swimming, the album? I know this album came out a couple years before, but he said something about like swimming. I was like, okay, he's got an album named Swimming. Was that on purpose or was it not? Maybe I'm reading into it, maybe I'm not, but overall, I like that track. Yeah, overall, solid track. Let's get into the next one, 55. Here we go. Nice little instrumental. That was a cool instrumental. In the context of the album, I feel like it fits. A lot of songs like that, though, are mainly just in the context of the album. They usually aren't listened to outside of the album. Continuous listen, I'm sure it's awesome. Not something I would add to a playlist personally, but that's not. I don't think that's the point of the song. Let's go to the next track, though. San Francisco. Here we go.
To the dark side of my bizarre mind. I'm trapped inside of this amusement park ride. There's an atom bomb inside my hard drive. I'm holding the apocalypse. Let's take a ride and get lost in this metropolis. Sucky now. Rapper terrorists, spared and good parents is putting hard drugs inside of all your baby's carriages. Arrogance, throwing cherry bombs where the sheriff lives. Just because that shit's hilarious. What it means to be American. Wow. I took acid in San Francisco. Stripped butt naked, caused a panic at the disco. Fell for the bimbo who was dancing at the strip show. I gotta stop thinking when my dick hole. Yo. Used to talk Kansas, smoking meth with all the locals. Asking them to teach me how to yodel. Suppose I'll die alone from an overdose of some sort. In a motel while some more I'm fucking running to the drugstore. I hacked, I always feel like a foreigner, morphing into some sort of sorcerer. I'm Yuri's brother if it's Lord of War. What would I be normal for? I'm going door to door shooting pornos with a good script. I took acid in San Francisco. Strip butt naked, caused a panic at the disco. Fell for the bimbo who was dancing at the strip show. A genius still thinking with his dick bone.
All right, that was an interesting track. It was definitely an introspective track. It was pretty ominous as well because he was at points talking about his own death, talking about how he's gonna die in a motel while somebody's running off to the drugstore. Like that was pretty ominous, just foreshadowing his own death, which is just sad. He's talking about at one point he took acid in San Francisco, strip butt naked, caused a panic at the disco, fell for a bimbo who was dancing at the strip show. A genius still thinking with his dick bone. Yeah, just talking about like a drug experience he had, I guess, in San Francisco where he's just took acid and was at a strip club and tried to get with one of the dancers. And yeah, that was pretty ominous. It kind of felt like it was self-deprecating at times where he's just talking about like all the stuff he's doing wrong, where he's like a genius still thinking of his dick bone, like saying like he's not thinking how he should be like he's very smart and he's just making bad decisions. Then yeah, overall sad track. Again, when you look at it out of the context now after he's passed, it's just like, damn, a lot of these tracks have been like that. Honestly, I did like the track, but I don't know how often I'd listen to it because, again, some of these would just make me sad if I listen to them. So let's go to the next track, though. Colors and Shapes. Here we go.
Have I answered the question, who am I? Well, I confront it all the time.
That was scary sounding. Like that. Her voice is ominous, so it's a little scary sounding.
If it was colors and shapes, the imaginary, instead of all of this weight that we have to carry, would you be able to breathe? And if you could just find where that comfort resides, no distraction or movement that fucks with your mind, would you let them see? His passengers escaped to safety, but he was not done with his trip. He looked up and smiled, asked me how do you do? I told him I'm losing my grip.
Damn.
He told me, son, if you want to hold on to yourself, then let yourself slip.
Song's beautiful so far.
These puzzles
just
are
sad.
so hard to make into pictures of something that they'll understand. They could open their eyes, still be blind to the beauty, but march on the heart of this land. They invade your minds and then fill them with nonsense. These things that a man doesn't need. Take out the love and the passion and hope, and they fill it with nothing but greed.
Fuck.
While floating through, if I jump, let me. Yeah. If I jump, let me.
Long outro. So there was like an ominous kind of voice in the beginning. I believe it was a woman's voice, and she was just kind of like, it was like a little, oh, and it was like added onto the into the beat, which kind of got me into this mind space that this song wasn't again gonna be a happy-go-lucky song. It was really a song about him like losing his grip, and like it sounded like a low point in his life, and it was odd because there was kind of a duality of like he's talking about all this sad stuff about like people are like they're invading his mind with nonsense and all this stuff, and he's just trying to figure life out, and it's like also very euphoric sound. Like the beat is beautiful. I'm gonna try to analyze these lines. If it was colors and shapes the imaginary instead of all this weight we had to carry, would you be able to breathe? I think there he's saying if life was just much more simple and not so complex, would you have a time and space for yourself to take a second, breathe, and actually experience life and not stress out, not be overwhelmed, and just live? And then he says, and if you could just find where that comfort resides, no distraction or movement that fucks with your mind, would you let them see? So I think what he's trying to say is if you could find that place in yourself where you're just happy, you are not stressed, you're not overwhelmed, you're not anxious, you're just you living in the moment, experiencing, living life, being fully happy, would you let them see that part's? So what I'm guessing is he's like, would you let the world see like how to live that way? Maybe, I'm not sure. That line's confusing me just a little bit, but overall, I absolutely loved this track. It was, so the whole album he's talking about drugs, right? But I said it sounded euphoric. I'm wondering if that ties into it at all, saying like it's euphoric. Maybe it's just like how he feels on whatever drug he's doing. I don't know if this one had a specific thing. I didn't catch any references, but thought that might be tied in somehow, and I just missed it. Let me know if you guys know in the comments. But let's go to the next song, Insomniac, featuring somebody who I wasn't expecting to see on this kind of album, Rick Ross. I'm wondering if the tone's going to be any different on this song. Here we go.
Yeah, yeah, Germ, I'm the motherfucking greatest.
Yeah.
Know that shit. I don't need your money, you can hold that check. At the crib, it's a polo sweats. I don't need to hold us what the hoes don't get. Motherfuckers never loved us. Coming for your money, motherfucker don't trust us. You ain't shit. Bought a brand new crib, yeah, move that brick. Okay. I don't want nothing with you, and it's still motherfucker most of us.
Yeah, I like it.
Motherfucker, we ain't even got a logo. Bitch, you better have my money.
Must be feeling myself.
I don't see anybody but me.
Man, I'm killing myself.
Wow.
Get this
Ooh.
already been.
Ooh, I like that.
Insomniac, I don't know what I got a match for. Insomniac, I don't know what I got a match for. Don't say I'm an insomniac, a motherfucking insomniac. Oh, hello, Q. Yeah, say, I'm a maniac, crazy act, same think I might need a cage effect. Chain react, fuckers start looking, but they never gonna see where I be. She only speak French, said bitch, look, don't try and speak around me. Man, I'll sleep it all. If you want that bullshit, I ain't gonna be a fearless. Gently, fourth quarter Gretzky, take a bitch, your pet, she don't test me, don't flex. You ain't got shit
Ooh,
on
that
me.
was
You ain't
tough.
got shit on me, come get it, come get it, come get it, come.
Here comes Mr. Ross, Mr. Boss. Rose.
Getting money so complicated. I'm the shit, I'm constipated. Yo, baby mama, straight G. Let me use the crib to mail all the weed. Cap, ride with a big black fat nigga. Big black cream, then it's chicken wings. Introduce different things. Jet skis and the best weed. Think it's fake, bitch, test me. I'm hate but won't box a nigga. Bought the steak from a boxer nigga. I'm walking around, I'm butt naked on my chopper, nigga. On my chopper, nigga. On my chopper, nigga. On my chopper, nigga. On my chopper.
I'm an insomniac, a motherfucking insomniac. I'm an insomniac, a motherfucking insomniac. I'm an insomniac, a motherfucking insomniac.
Okay, Insomniac. That might be my favorite track off the whole album so far. I liked that he was talking this shit. He was very braggadocious in the beginning of the song, just saying like, I'm really him. Like, I'm that guy. Saying, I don't need your money. You can hold the check at the crib and some polo sweats. I don't need that hoe. That's what we get, hoes. We don't get. Coming for your money, motherfucker. Don't trust me. You ain't shit. I'm the motherfucking greatest. Like, he's just talking his shit. I love it. I love when rappers do that. There was a weird ad lib, like it was like all that braggadocious stuff, and then it says, I don't see anybody me planning on killing myself. Like that's where you could obviously tell Mac had mental health issues. Just like that's a weird ad lib to throw in this kind of song. It was like it threw me off for a second. I was like, what the heck? There was kind of like a weird beat switch up in Mac's verse, which I really liked. Right before it got to Rick Ross, so that was awesome. That Jet Li Wayne Gretzky fourth quarter, like that little space of lines right there was awesome. And then I like Rick Ross. I love Rick Ross's voice, but he makes me laugh. He's talking about Krispy Kreme than the chicken wings. Like that's just funny. I like when they don't take it too serious. I like when they some rappers just kind of joke around because it just makes it more relatable, makes it more fun, and yeah, overall that one surprised me. Like the switch up of the tone and very good, very good. Let's go to the next one. Uber featuring Mike Jones. Name sounds familiar. I'm not sure from where, but let's get into it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a build-up going on.
Who put the spiders in my applesauce? Looked them in the eye, said the devil's not circumcised. Who put spiders in my applesauce? Took the pins out my hand grenade. Somebody tell me the rainforest in my cigar. There's knots in my yo-yo string. Put a crown on my stallion, I'm the polo king. I fell in love with a go-go dancer, she a single mom. The immediately, she dropped her shit. But everywhere I go, they told me, watch your bitch. I guess I got another one. Good vibrations, Mark and the funky bunch. A buck air. My bitch ass is like a plump pear. And she ain't pretty or ugly, I'd say she's just fair. Man, this life is unfair.
That's like, what is that in the background right there?
Okay, I'm parking lot and I got nothing to lose. And I'ma do this till I'm 102.
Stunting in a Uber.
Playboy magazines, something from the 50s when the journalism had its peak. You play the background, you just a member of the faculty. I'm actually out here decision making.
Matt, I think the girl that you speaking about was in fact the same chick, late night creeping out, sneaking out. My homie knew it, told me people.
Good voice.
Found out she was twerking, found out she wasn't working. The whole game switched with my man here. Got me rolling in a circle, top down, blowing purple. Switching lane to lane, still tipping, trunk up, top down, call it parking lot pit. Switching lane to lane, still tipping, trunk up, top down, call it parking lot pit.
Okay, I'm parking, I got nothing to do. And I'ma do this till I'm 102. Why you trying to stunt when we stunting on you? Stunting over.
I like this. Another long outro. What is that noise? Sounds like a horn or something. All right, Uber. I like that song. What was that noise like in the background? I couldn't figure that out. There was kind of like a build up in the beginning. I don't know what he was talking about with the devil being circumcised. I'm gonna have to check Genius on that because I was just confused. Who put the spiders in my applesauce? Took the pins out my hand grenade. Somebody said I deserve to die. I looked at him and said the devil's not circumcised. Somebody tells him he deserves to die, and Mac replies the devil. He is saying he is in bed with the devil. In bed is a double entendre, meaning Mac is both in the works, selling his soul, and had sex with him. The reason behind Mac's knowledge. What the heck? By selling his soul, he has been granted his fame and time to shine. So there's two interpretations. Mac is obviously Jewish, means that most of Jewish people are circumcised. But when somebody told him that he deserves to die, he says the devil isn't Jewish. I'm thinking it's probably the second one. That first one seemed like he was reading into it just a little bit. Besides that watch your bitch, god dang. I like that a lot. There was one line where somebody's head was underwater. He says, good vibrations, Marky Mark and Funky Funk bunch. I put the gourmet flavors inside my honey blunt. Got my head underwater, but I ain't coming up. Fuck air. My bitch ass is like a plum pear. Yeah, saying like obviously his head is underwater. He's drowning himself, maybe in his work, maybe in his addiction. I liked Mike Jones. I don't know if he added a whole bunch of the song. His bars were cool though. They definitely were not bad. It wasn't like he messed up the whole flow of the track. He definitely fit on the track, but I don't know if he added that much for me. Overall, though, good track. Like that one a lot. Let's go into the next track, Rain, featuring an artist I really like, Vince Staples. Let's get into it.
take your time. When talking to a nigga, I don't waste none. Knock you off your feet and then I flee before the jakes come. Sick of hearing cases from these niggas who ain't face none. But I'ma be fake when a person don't deserve what he get. Shooting reckless at the father, almost murdered the kid. Or is it karma for the shit that both the parents that did? Ain't embarrassed where I'm living, we get married for kills. From a guilt,
I love this.
my mama made me part of the guild. Deals made, selling thrills, paid the bills at the crib. Drag him down by the river, he'll be missing for years. And heaven knows, heaven's gates probably closed. And these hoes in the race for the gold. We was raised on that fork in the road. No food on our plate, just the meals that we stole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See if I do a switch up here.
yeah. I spit that prayer hand emoji, the shit that in Jacoby. The holiest, the holy, Nick Nolte and some Oakleys. That's a vein of the battle that's within me. Sniff the same shit that got Whitney. The high heel depression. My temple feel the metal coming out the Smith and Wesson bang. Say a prayer, leave my brains on the tile floor.
No.
Bitch hate me, always tell me fly. Great vibrations. The magazines need a quote. When I'm gone, sorry, I don't even know. Yo. Whoa,
Good track. All right, I'm gonna be honest. That was one of those tracks where there was no chorus. They just both had two verses, and I definitely did not catch everything. I was enjoying the track. The beat was great. Vince Staples' verse was very good. It kind of felt like they were both just talking about things about their life. Like Vince Staples kind of talking about where he grew up. Max kind of talking about his addiction. So from Vince's verse, stray bullet hit my brother in his motherfucking face. What's fate when a person don't deserve what he gets? Shooting reckless at a father, almost murdered the kid. Saying maybe like where he grew up, they don't care if a kid, if somebody they don't like has a kid, they'll still shoot at him and maybe kill him as well as trying to kill his dad. Which Vince is like, what the hell is the point? What's the point of that? Knew the phone had it better than most of us did, cause shit, heaven knows, heaven's gates probably closed. And these hoes in a race for gold. We raised on that fork in the road. No food on our plate, just the meals that we stole. I think he's making a reference. I hear this in movies. I hear this with kids, like people that grow up in bad neighborhoods. Like you have two choices. You can keep going and doing what everybody's doing, or you can just try to make a way for yourself, pave your own path. I think that's kind of what he's getting on. And where Vince grew up, I know he wasn't around the best crowd. So I'm thinking he's saying, we raised on the fork of the road. People saying that kind of sentiment to him all the time. Like, you got two choices here. And I think he's just making like a cool wordplay thing on that with fork in the road and then plate and food and meals that they stole. I think he's just trying to make a cool little play on that. Okay, this is from Max verse. Sober, I can't deal. I'm in the corner with my head low, running from my shadow, never ending chase. Ease the pain and the battle within me. Sniff the same shit that got Whitney. High heel depression, my temple, feel the metal coming out of the Smith & Wesson. Bang, say a prayer, leave my brains on the tile floor. Again, showing Mac was not in the best headspace, saying when he's sober, he can't deal with life. Just to ease the pain that he has to go snort coke, do whatever. He's just talking about when to end his life with a Smith & Wesson, which is a gun, and bang, shooting himself in the head. And both just talking about their life and how they live and their life experiences. And cool track. I love both of these artists, so this one will definitely be in a rotation for me, pretty heavy. Let's go into the next track though, which is Apparition. Let's get into it. This feels back to that tone they were on before.
Yeah, I've been rapping since the apparition. I was gonna kill me and I'm glad he didn't. Might have made a bad decision. Up on the Churchill, acid tripping with older men. As they tell her stories, she's seducing them, but she only using them. My studio is filled with spirits, and every single lyric dedicated to my dearest friends. Never got the steps right, loose I never slept tight, but I'ma keep dancing. Yeah, I did a cannonball off the deep end.
Ooh, I like that.
Pouch of fairy dust and a little poodle terrier. Split your line up like James Ferrier.
I like that one.
Cowboy, they need me like the cancer cure. We loud as crowd noise. We just let the amber burn. Wiffle balls a child's toy. Ain't fucking with work at every single answer except time. I've experienced every feeling except fine. I'm line dancing again.
Very long outro, but it's cool. It feels psychedelic. I'm gonna explain myself in a second. So, I like that track a lot. Line dancing, he mentioned that at some point. Definitely think he's talking about coke. James Ferry, I don't know if everybody knows who James Ferry is. He was a very good linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I like when people do that kind of lines of obscure athletes that somehow I end up knowing. I think it adds a cool part of the track. Talking about cannonballing off the deep end, I think he's just talking about like him spiraling, drug addiction getting out of control, that kind of stuff. Pouch of fairy dust, like that sounds like a drug thing. There's a very, very long outro, and I'm wondering if there's a visualizer. I know some people do that on YouTube, like a visualizer for their album. To me, that sounded like a damn drug trip. Like you were on some sort of heavy drug and you're like, ooh, and like that's what it sounded like to me. Not sure if I'm right there. Let me know in the comments if you guys think that same thing. But yeah, overall, Apparition, I like that track a lot. Not too many lyrics, but long outro was very cool, so I'm totally okay with that. Let's go to the next track, Thumbelina. Here we go.
Straight up, I just want to say one time after 2 years at this motherfucking crib, fuck all y'all motherfuckers. Living all over this motherfucker, trying to kick me out. The chihuahua, fuck you and your motherfucker.
This feels like a different kind of tone.
Yeah, remember music.
What's this sample?
Yeah, that's how it's going down one time for that. Okay, yeah. He's on drugs again. My neighbor's yelling, I don't give a fuck again. And I swear to God, if the cops come again, I'ma open up the stuff in my dick, your mouth, no discussion. Yeah, what's happening? I must be
Devious
imagining.
dog.
Take a hit, time traveling. Turn up. Let me see the nipples, baby.
What the heck?
Don't give it all up, just a little baby. I'm just trying to free your mind. Yeah, nothing straight about her but her posture. Prada, G, I'ma eat lobster. Full Spanish bitches, but I speak nada. And she gotta need to roll the weed all up. You ain't got a chance when it's me on ya. I'm a condo. And you a freak, why you hiding in the costume? That disguise make your body look off. Yeah, pussy cripple, baby. Let me slide right down the middle, baby. Yeah, where the fuck, man?
All right, I like that one a lot. The intro was very funny to me. It goes, Mrs. Watson, what's your little ass kids fucking crying? You got a little chihuahua and you fucking motherfucking mama, bitch. I'm out here suck my mom. Like that shit was just funny to me. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to have to go look on Genius real quick. What was the sample there? Genius says, the repetitive line in the beat, they got the committee to get me off the block, is a sample from Slow Ride by the Beastie Boys. I could see that. There was another couple funny lines like the Spanish girls line. Pull Spanish bitches, but I speak nada. It's just funny, bro. Like sometimes, I don't like when music is too serious. Like obviously he has some serious tones in this album, but he knows how to make it feel a little less downtrodden. Like he's like gonna bring it up a little bit. That was a good track. Thumbelina, liked it a lot. Let's go into the next one. New Faces V2 featuring Earl Sweatshirt and Dash. Longer track. Here we go.
Yeah, man, you know I'm smoking at the beginning of the song, man, like a damn rapper, man. Lux when I didn't have a brush, when it still was a host trying to fuck with me. Before I cleaned up a bit like his company coming. I ain't know we was on the cusp of the money, trying to get a few bucks under custody. And my twin brothers was all south. I need to find out, I'm doing fine now. And I don't look stupid when I talk now. And everybody at the show look astounded. Posted up drowsy in a cut so much that it's pus round me. Keep your tux lousy that you can't sit.
Speed it up a little bit. throw me
Can't
off.
call it harsh living when the
There we
margin
go.
between you and all these fuck niggas is about as large as it gets. And you working, giving arm and a leg. Say, nigga, slight frown on the brow when the brim color brown, running wild on the route that was picked. When the clouds were enshrouded, I'm out with my face in the shallow and drowning again.
There we go. I like that.
Drugs got me feeling like Vigo Carpathian. Just look at the state he's in. Yo, the most critically acclaimed, slang contortionist that ain't sucking. Feel like my heart got pneumonia, blunt lace talk about the older. Cops still locking niggas up for quotas. Brain still numb from the shit in the soda. So we generation lost, facing and Paul Allen faking loft. One nigga sitting in his high rise trying to see the bright side of life, and a nigga just keep coming back with a dark picture. It's like hard liquor. And see people the books, so you judging me on stage. They said my shit was so insane, it was like cocaine to this last number. Motherfucker.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Isn't he dizzy off the ups and downs? You got a little Whitney, put it in the blunt for now. Smoke. She was supposed to get me high, why the fuck I wanna die now? And strung out on this dusty couch in a big white ugly house. I tell the bitch slow. Me, I'm swerving in the Jeep, burning weed, doing circles in the street, yelling play my shit to wake the baby up. I get it faded, put it back in the labia. All my life I've been afraid of powder. All my life I've been more unknown. Shout out to Solo and rest in peace of Lori Joe. The devil on the other side of this glory hole. Anytime, any place, you can bet I'ma eat. Cause my hand on the fork and the fork in the road. Look at all these new faces. I see. Here I go. Throwing up a prayer, it's a Hail Mary. I never been religious, but I feel like the scriptures got it all there. It's not just gypsies and fairies. This could be my last breath. I'ma take my time, cause I'ma go out the same way I came in, right by the pussy with nothing on my mind.
Yeah.
Shallow soul, I could drown you with the shallow soul. Shallow soul, shallow soul. You are drinking from a shallow soul. Shallow soul, shallow soul.
Ah, man. I don't know about that one. I'm gonna be honest. I know it's got two pretty popular feature artists, but that always doesn't mean for me personally that's just a good track based off of that. I didn't really love Earl's verse. I didn't really love Dash's verse. It was a really simple beat and didn't really feel like they were doing very much on it. Personally, I think Max back after this had to be kind of hurting because it felt like he was carrying the song, honestly. Like, his chorus was good. His verse was, I think, by far the best. I don't know, man. That song just didn't really do it for me. Maybe I just missed a couple lines and they had better lines in there, but it felt like I might mean more listens or I don't know. Just wasn't for me, I don't think. Let's go into the next song, Grand Finale. Here we go.
Yeah. A little louder. And if by chance this is my grand finale, then bury me in Allegheny County. It's the most hated, so faded that I'm bow-legged. Don't bitch right off your lap and start a standing ovation. The most strangest, master of the ceremonies. Fifth of story, then it's only Sharon Moby karaoke. I only go places wasted like I'm Joe Namath. I'm King, I'm no David. Music, I'm a crackhead. No hobbies or recreation, don't even know my address. Self-medicate. World will be just fine without me. Cloud got a smile on his face. Slowing down, we going out with a bang. Are you ready for the fireworks?
I like that.
Yeah, okay, I fear nothing on this odyssey of dark roads. God lives in my dog's soul, the devil in his dog bowl. We are the prophets. Jesus was a poor sporty Buddha Nostradamus. Turned water into wine, but he loved a gin and tonic. Had skeletons in his closet. Even God will one day be forgotten. Never got to see me grow up. How long it take to live a life. I'm a bit surprised that I'm even still alive. Mixing uppers and downers, practically suicide. My old Jewish
Damn.
mind, remember music, you'll be fine. And I make my own beats now, if you behind. Are you ready for the fireworks? It was a silent night till the fireworks.
Damn. All right, things I liked about that song. One, the guitar and beat comes right at you right off the rip. Love that. He immediately again starts talking about his own death. He says, and if by chance this is my grand finale, saying like this is the end, bury me in Allegheny County, which is a county in Pittsburgh. I believe that's where he's from. It's the most hated, so I'm so faded that I'm bow-legged. Don't bathe, gross gang, smell like lo mein shit. Then there was another cool part where I think the guitar was awesome throughout the whole entire track. Loved that. Again, I'll say it again. I've said it 14 times. You're probably tired of me saying it. I love that he uses real instruments throughout his music. I think that adds a lot. Something at the end where he's just saying, let us have a grand finale. The world be just fine without me. The clown got a smile on his face. Slow it down. We going out with a bang. Are you ready for the fireworks? It was a silent night till the fireworks. I thought the fireworks was cool as like a send-off to the end of the album. But he says, the world will be just fine without me. And I will say this. I don't know if it's because I'm a Mac Miller fan, but I see his fans saying how much they miss him every single day on Twitter, on Instagram. He's practically on my Twitter like once a week. Where they do it like called Mac Miller Mondays on Twitter. And it's cool videos and videos of him in like the studio or cool pictures. And it's just like he really did have a dedicated fan base. And he said the world won't miss him, but I think the world really does truly miss him. And yeah, I just said yeah, and that's actually the name of the next track. Yeah, which is a bonus track. It's the last one of the album. Let's get into it. It's got the chills.
When will we die? This life isn't fair. I miss the high. I live a lie. Am I alive?
I just got the chills again. Oh my god. Again. What the fuck? Beautiful track. The chills again.
Things that we don't know. I made my peace. Can I go?
Again. I got the chills like 4 times this song already. The well up again, fuck.
Girl named Danger, so good to see you. Don't be a stranger, it's clear I need you. The angels will fall, not a saint after all. Back to the wall, let me free you. Check, we are believers, lost in amnesia. Will you let me fade away? I wanna fade away. Am I alive? Am I awake? Do you get high? Are we prepared? We will survive.
This song is awesome. It's so sad, but it's fucking beautiful. That was an awesome track. I got the chills probably like 30 times. Probably got tired of me saying throughout the track. I don't know why it kept happening. Very, very ominous. Sounds like he was off the drugs in this song. There's a couple parts where I feel like I definitely felt like he was off the drugs. He says, protect me from evil, give me a reason. Where are the good people? Give us freedom. So protect me from evil. Maybe he's praying. He's saying, give me a reason to be like happy, maybe not to go back to drugs, not to relapse. He said, where are the dreamers? Can you show me the dreamers? And we are creatures, prophets, and teachers. We are believers, lost in amnesia. Will you let me fade away? I want to fade away. Talking about, I think he's talking about he wants to die, which is very, very sad. But this song, simple in its nature, but beautiful. It's a classic thing of just like not doing too much. It sounded like he was just, there's a lot of emotion tied in the song. He's asking very introspective questions of, am I alive? Am I where? Do you get high? Are we prepared? Then one day we'll die. No one will care. So he's like, asks those 4 questions, and he just like goes into, I guess, his thought process of his mind. He's like, the big questions of, am I alive? Am I where? The do you get high one's not really a big question, but are we prepared maybe to die? And then he says, then one day we'll die. No one will care. Do you get high? Will we survive? So introspective track talking about life. Very, very solid track. Now it's time to give this album a rating. So if I'm going to give this album a full ranking, I'm going to give it an 89%. I think it's a very, very strong ranking for a 25-track album. There were some odd points in throughout the album, like where I just didn't feel like they hit. I thoroughly enjoyed this album. It's up there now. I think it's probably my favorite Mac Miller album. 3-way tie between Swimming, Divine Feminine, and Faces now for number 1. Which is pretty good. If 3 of your albums are tied for number 1, that's a great sign that you're doing something right. I don't know if that's a controversial opinion, but it's just how I feel. Highlights off the album for me were Here We Go, Angel Dust, Therapy, Happy Birthday, Funeral, Diablo, Ave Maria, Colors and Shapes, Insomniac, Rain, Apparition, Grand Finale, and yeah, all of those will be heavily rotated for the foreseeable future. So if you enjoyed this review, please leave a like. It would be greatly appreciated. Leave a comment if you have any other albums you think I should listen to. If you want to watch the full video, uncut, uncensored, check out Patreon for part 1 and part 2's full cuts. They will be on there. Check me out on all my other socials down below in the description. And with all that being said, thank you guys for watching and listening to this album with me. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Stay safe out there, guys.